A worn-out safety glove, abandoned haul trucks, dismissed mining equipment scattered on a bygone mine. West Virginia coal country has long lost much of its preeminent role. Today, even one of the greatest strongholds of the US fossil fuel industry attract investments in windmills and solar panels. But with the midterms election approaching, this change will be on the ballot.
There's a war on fossil fuels here in America.
Coal is not competitive anymore.
The coal industry and our folks can adapt to whatever the market needs are.
So can West Virginia move away from its coal legacy into a green future? And how will the midterm elections influence this transition? Ever since West Virginia became a state in 1863, its economy was solidly based on coal.
It's a very rural state, no big cities, not such big universities, no diversified companies. The coal industry was really the big player in that state for many, many years in the past. They helped schools financially being built. They offered housing to their workers.
Even as the world strives to move away from fossil fuels, here in West Virginia, coal is still going strong. The industry employs tens of thousands of people. It's the main source of the state's electricity and the second largest contributor to the state's GDP after the healthcare industry.
Coal has always been a part of West Virginia's history.
Jason Bostic has dedicated his career to the coal business. He thinks the industry is here to stay.
If you're making steel anywhere in the world, you're using some level of West Virginia coal.
That's one reason why coal production is actually increasing. In 2021, it produced 92 million tons of coal, up from 70 million in the year before. And this year's output is expected to be even higher.
The rest of the world's going to continue to need that to forge steel. And if the renewable/intermittent build out continues like it is, that windmill blade's going to have West Virginia coal in it.
But for as strong as the coal industry might be, there's a general push towards renewable energy. In the upcoming midterm elections, that push will be on the ballot.
The midterm elections matter.
Nora Löhle has worked for many years to promote policies in favor of renewable energies. Issues like inflation and abortion are likely to play a more important role in the midterms. But if Democrats lose their majority, their green agenda could also be affected.
Climate change is a highly politicized question. The majority of Republicans don't want to admit that climate change is human-made. That's the biggest general fear I would have with a Republican dominance. Their rhetoric about how fossil fuel industry isn't bad and reducing taxes, and so having less opportunity to support new technologies in the future.
Until now, Democrats enjoyed a majority in both the House and the Senate and could pass an important bill that supports this green transition, regardless of Republicans' opposition. The funding from the inflation bill will go to every state. Even states like West Virginia, whose representatives oppose this bill, can use this money to promote green projects. This former coal mine is a perfect example of that. At first glance, it looks quite gloomy. The mine was closed and abandoned in 2015, but its future is more promising. A multi-million-dollar project by a private investor will replace the abandoned mining equipment with dozens of windmills.
They, as a state, didn't do a good job to create a diversification in their industry. So many people have been losing their jobs because they were dependent on coal industry. And that's why now this shifting out of coal, because it's not competitive anymore.
And it's not just wind power, but also solar. This is the largest solar farm in the state. Yet, it only produces enough energy for a Toyota car manufacturing plant. All renewable energies combined cover less than 7% of the state's net electricity generation. Still, West Virginia Governor Jim Justice is adamant. This is just the first step into a bright new future.
How we're diversifying our state and moving forward in every way
Here he is at a ceremony signing a $500 million investment deal with Berkshire Hathaway Energy. The firm plans on developing an industrial park powered 100% with renewable energy.
The world doesn't see West Virginia as a place that was maybe backward or poor or dingy or whatever it may be. The world now sees West Virginia as the diamond in the rough that they missed.
The world maybe, but what do West Virginians make of all the hype about green energy? We're visiting the Coal Mining Museum in Beckley, West Virginia, a small town around 60 miles southeast of the state's capital, Charleston. The museum is all about the old ways of coal mining. Here we meet Mike Collo, a retired coal miner.
There's a war on fossil fuels here in America, you know that. We got coal under our feet, we got natural gas under our feet. But then they're out in other countries begging for it, you know.
Mr. Collo is convinced West Virginia is far from seeing the end of coal. The issue will play a central role in the midterms.
Fossil fuels, that's a big issue. It always is every time. They want clean air, you know, everything green. You know. Always a big issue.
Coal has been on a decades-long decline.
The role of coal as an energy source in the country and in the state has changed.
Democrats have used their government majority to support green projects. But if they lose the upcoming midterm elections, this transition could become harder.
The biggest downside of that is that with the majority they have, they would try to push and support again more the fossil fuel industry.
Yet, renewable projects like these in the heart of West Virginia coal country show that change is hard to stop.